This broadcast contains content that may be considered offensive to sensitive individuals. At times, you may also view footage that is slightly out of focus, underlit, overexposed, and audio that wasn't properly leveled at the time of recording. The executive producers have invested hundreds of hours into the creation of this program, and we challenge you to conceive a concept that addresses the problems that may have been improperly nurtured by the culture of hip-hop. Viewer discretion is advised.
The video you are about to see contains some scenes with explicit language. Parental discretion is advised. Thank you.
Joe.
Blackula.
You are now rocking with the originators. That Al Capone, that Frank Nitti, that Tony Ocado, Sam G. Connor, Fluky Stokes, that Willie Lord, that Jeff Ford, you know Larry Hoover, that Joey Lombardo. Yeah. Those original Chicago gangsters. You know what time it is. You are now rocking the best. We are not live in effect. Changing your dial, show some respect. I rip the shine, not a Chirac. We on some history up in this piece. Professor with flow, watch our IT. Taking it back, way back. And I ain't talking about just with rap. Videos, interviews, real talk, Chicago news, still stay, trendsetter, Tefloned up to the core. You can tell what we about. We step your foot up in our house. And once you done watching this, go line and check Chicago Cookout. We own, we own. This ain't no such thing as halfway show. We own, we own. So tuned in to get tuned out. You know what to do now. We own, we own.
Joe. Blackula.
Question number one. Do the lyrics in rap music contribute to incidents of youth violence? If so, please explain. If not, please explain.
Oh, you just want me? You ready? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Do the lyrics of today's rap music? I think that everything starts at home. This is, how I feel. I think we can only, what's the word I'm looking for? Blame so much on society for our children and their behavior. There's always discussion, this is probably gonna go around in a little off subject, but there's always discussion on how, in the black community, if we should spank our kids. Does it fuel more violence, or does it really help them to behave and not to become what they are today? I think that everything is situational. I believe that when they look up to certain people and they see this image on TV, that it does happen. And if they really knew the lives behind people, they would know. For instance, Ice Cube. Ice Cube was NWA, right? Shoot 'em up, bang, bang, I'll smoke you. But at the end of the day, he went home to his wife, to his kids. He was dad. He really didn't do anything. It was all an act. So if these kids really understood the truth of it and really understood, who they were, I don't think that it would happen. But I don't think solely that the issue is the content. I think it's at home. I think spankings fuel certain children. A lot of these times, these kids have mental illnesses that trigger behavior disorders, that trigger a lot of things going on, and just not knowing who they are. We got a lot of carbon copies because his parents aren't teaching these kids individuality and not teaching them uniqueness and being original. So
I would say yes, but there's some who would say no.
Okay.
Because there's arguments for both sides. That's a loaded question. So you have to go to other factors that play a part into violence. We can't really put it all on lyrics per se, because some people are rapping about what they see, and then you got some people are doing what's been rapped about. So it's like it's a chicken and egg type of question. And, you know, I gotta leave it there because you can't really, you know, there's so many factors that go into violence. You got unemployment causes violence. You got the fact that we sit next to a vacant building, a beautiful building with an X on it, you know, that I'm sure was mortgaged out to the max by some greedy appraiser who just wanted to make a quick $20,000 and cause this family who would otherwise be here to be homeless. So there's a lot of factors that go into playing into violence. I don't think a rap lyric can make a person violent, but I do think given the right circumstances and the wrong mentality, that someone can be susceptible to influence of the culture of rap music.
Yeah, I do believe that the lyrics contribute in a sense. I think that the messages that a lot of artists put out there kind of give permission for young people who really don't understand, you know, that a lot of these rappers are out here fake and they're phony and they're just out here just trying to say what they think needs to be said in order to get on, you know. And so then you have these other cats who don't realize that, you know, these artists are a part of the game and, you know, they want to be a part of that lifestyle. They think that it's cool that, you know, my man's is saying that he gonna hit the block and shoot up whoever he sees. So in order for me to get where he at, I need to hit up the block and shoot whoever I see, you know. And so, you know, I just think that it has a contribution. And then I think it's a little bit of a flip too, because I think that sometimes artists portray what they see and not necessarily what they're about. And I'm not saying that all of these artists are out here that's phony or faking the funk, but, you know, it's really hard for me to believe that every rapper who has mentioned shooting somebody actually shot somebody. Like some of these guys I could tell, like, yeah, you probably did do that. But, you know, it's a few of these cats that's out here that's like, yeah, no, man, I don't believe that. And if you did do that, it was probably 10, 20 years ago, and you need to just grow up, you know, and stop being on that same level.
Yeah, I think the lyrics in rap music contribute to youth violence because, you know, rap music is very influential on our kids, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like this is what our kids is listening to, and this is what they talking about doing in the rap music. So basically, the kids want to be cool, so they want to go out and do what the rappers talking about doing, which ain't really cool at all, you know what I'm saying, as far as the killing each other. And I'm because what they do is they desensitize our children to what's going on in the streets, to murders and things like that. Because it's like, you put it in a song, you walk down the street, you hear kids, I'ma kill that nigga, I'ma drill that nigga, and all this, that, and the other shit, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think it's contributing to it a lot.
They do. The main reason that they do, in my opinion, is based off the fact that people tend to do things that they see as being something that motivates them. So if all you talk about is money and how you getting money, and the root of your getting money is drug paraphernalia, or the root of you getting money is robbing or whatever, and you glorifying it, and you never talk about the outcome. The outcome is always you got chicks, so the outcome is always, you know what I'm saying, now you got a crew. It's never a bad outcome. People feed into that, especially impressionable minds. And, you know, no matter how hard they say, well, they should have parents, and their parents should parent them, in the end, often did that same rapper that's yelling at parents parent them? So, you know, for them to say something like that, you know, is nonchalant because they're an influence to everything that's going on, and the impressionable mind always follow something that it thinks is where they want to be at, you know. So yeah, violence it can go hand in hand with hip hop, period.
I feel it can in a way because music, just like a lot of other things, it influences people. It influences, you know, actions, feelings, emotions, and that'll play into a person's life. They could go outside, not even expecting to feel a type of way or do something, but you know, a song or anything can make you do something, or change the way what you was about to do. So I feel it can in a way.
Yeah.
Is it for every single thing that's going on in these streets and in the world? No. Because at the end of the day, people do make their own decisions, but can it influence? Because that was the question. Yes, it can make an influence on something.
Joe.
I just had to get this off my chest, cause niggas got to feel how I feel.
I think the lyrics of rap music definitely contributes to violence. The reason for that is we are all influenced by our environment, about what things that people say, what things that people do. And the more that we listen to music, I remember when I was a kid, my mother would clean up the house to music. Certain music that she would listen to, it would give her that vibe to keep on going and to make sure that everything was done, even though she may have gotten tired, but the music gave her the drive. Likewise, the music gives our young people the drive to go to the next level, whatever that level may be. So if we're dealing with the fact that we have some young people who feel as if though tomorrow will never come, or I don't like where I live, my dad's not here, my mom's gone on a regular basis, and we have this despair and we have this hopelessness that's going on, and we have an individual who's singing in your ear, later for it, do whatever it is that you want, do. And so that perpetuates that particular idea, whether it's me doing something to my fellow man because he said something wrong to me or he looked at me the wrong way. It continues that circle of violence. So yes, I think that the words or the lyrics to certain songs do lead our young people into a possible negative direction.
Do you think it's kind of weird I'm in the park with a suit on and do the lyrics of rap music contribute to the incidence of youth violence? Yes, they do. Okay. Music definitely makes you feel a certain way. That's why in movies, when you have a sad scene, they play music to bring out that feeling in the scene. And in a happy scene, they change the music up. So even in church, when you go to a church or something, like the music plays on the emotions of people. So lyrics do contribute to it. It's not all of it, but that is a part of the reason for youth violence out here. It's part of it.
Okay, yes. Lyrics in rap music do influence the culture of our community. Whether it's good or bad, it has an effect. If it has a negative connotation, then it's going to have a negative effect. If it's a positive connotation, it will have a positive effect. So yes, lyrics do influence the youth of our society.
Now, is that a particular reason why WKKC doesn't play music with
explicit lyrics?
Explicit content?
Yes, that's exactly why. We want to be the ones who move forward in a positive direction. And if we get rid of the negativity, we won't have to accidentally play it and have to rip it off. Every now and then one gets through from somebody who was here before I was, and it plays, and as soon as we hear something negative about it, we rip it off immediately. It even sounds unprofessional because we change it. We cut the song immediately and play something else in its place.
Now, do you get a lot of music with negative content submitted to you?
Yes, I do. Okay. I get a lot of negative content music, and I explain to the people who are submitting the music why I cannot play their music. And I ask them, did you really think that I would play this song that has the MF in the middle of it? Do you really think I'm going to play that song? And if you thought so, why? I kind of let them answer their own question.
Yeah, I think it contributes to youth violence because a lot of these dudes, they try to live up to the rapper standards. You know, they want to be like them rappers and what they talking about. So a lot of them contribute to it, but rappers control pretty much everything. A lot of these so-called rappers that's coming up, they idolize those rappers that's already in the game, and so whatever they talking about, they pretty much want to be about it.
Now I would have to say yes. And the only reason why I would say yes is because there's nothing to counter against it. Like back in the day when I was growing up in like the 80s and the early part of the 90s, there were different types of music around and you had other influences. Now all you hear is shoot 'em up, kill, blah, blah, blah. Get at this person. I got to get more money than you got. I got to get what you have and take it from you, blah, blah, blah. So it's nothing else to counter that. So that's with all you hearing constantly. It's going to become part of your subconscious. And unfortunately, it is going to create a culture in some people who may not have that other person in their life to say, hey, hold on, that ain't how it's really supposed to be. There's another way. This is supposed to be for entertainment purposes only, or that's how they are. And just because that's how they are, that doesn't mean that's going to be how you are. So unfortunately, right now with the way rap is, yes.
What's the difference?
We had that other influence. That's what I'm saying. We could understand that we had somebody either telling us that was in our daily lives saying, hey, this is not just all it is. Just because you listen to that, you better not do that shit. You know, either whether it was a parent, uncle, aunt, whatever, or you had other music that you could listen to because you had Culture Club, you had all the, man, what else? Who else was out in the 80s? Got Duran, you know, other shit like that. You had LL, you had other people that was putting other stuff out there that wasn't always so hard. So you had a balance. It was a good and a bad. So you can see, okay, that's the party, that's the hard, whatever. It's a gangster rap and then it's a party rap. So it was a good mesh of contribution to create a balance between the two. But when there's no balance and all you have is the one, unfortunately, that's what's going to take over. So that's why I say, unfortunately, it is contributing to it only because it's nothing out there that's combating it or going against it or saying, hey, it's another way about it. And there aren't any people, really, parents, influences saying, at least that I'm saying. I can't speak for everybody, but at least that I'm saying, that's saying, you know, don't really go for all that. And that could be their life. And just because this may be your reality right now, that don't mean that's how it's got to stay. It's nobody giving that other positive influence or that other outlook and that other aspect to it. So that's why everything is just one-sided right now. And with everything just being one-sided, it kind of just makes it seem like, hey, I saw them on TV. That's how it's supposed to be. That's what I'm going to go for. That's what I'm going to do. You don't have nobody saying, nah, but you need to slow down. That's not how it's supposed to be. That's not what you're going to go do.
Joe, Black Killer, Dobbs and Mars.
I just had to get this off my chest. Cause niggas got to feel how I feel.
I think it, I don't know. I would say it does contribute and it doesn't contribute, simply because at the end of the day, young people can be introduced to, you know, acts of violence or different ways to fulfill violent things, but in turn, it's their decision to do it and act out on it. So, you know, if people are constantly making music about, you know, somebody getting out of line and I'ma shoot them, or, you know, we gonna stomp you down, or, you know, as we know, Trill music is heavy in that area. You know, busting people and just anything dealing with that. I think that it gives people a reason to do so because they might have never thought of doing something a certain way. And once it's introduced in the music, whether it's, for instance, somebody that's gang affiliated, I don't want to say no names, but, anybody who is going through or, maybe one of their homeboys got killed, and the song will encourage them to retaliate. Or if, somebody, messed with one of their homies or, they was in the club and somebody came at somebody wrong, to throw a bottle or, to do anything like that. So I think that, yes, it's influence, it has influence on them, and no, because at the end of the day, if they do it, or if they hear about it, and it sparks the idea, yeah, I could do what so-and-so did, or yeah, I'm a shoot dude like so-and-so did, that's to a certain degree, but they still have to act on it. So, I don't know, I'm kind of like 50-50. Yes, that it influences them, but at the same time, it's up to them to make that decision to do that themselves.
I believe it does, because I believe our youth want to live the life of these rappers who have made it, to stardom and became famous, with wealth, and they want to live this life, because our youth nowadays, they're idolizing people who are fictional to us, but also in the same token, they are not fictional. And I believe that they want to live that fiction life, of popping bottles, turning up, going to clubs, having women, degrade themselves before them, because that's what most of these rappers are doing now that they're rich. But before then, they just, all they dreamt about is making it, and they put in the hard work and dedication. But I say our youth nowadays want everything to be given to them as opposed to working hard for it. So I would have to say, yes, rap has a lot of work to do with has a lot to do with our youth influence.
I agree. In addition to the unstructured home life a lot of these kids come from, they're looking for something to aspire to, and unfortunately a lot of the rappers that are out there kind of is the model that a lot of them try to model their lives after. You have some positive rappers out there, but the majority not so much. So our youth are just inundated with negativity, which I believe does contribute to the violence. Lack of self-respect, lack of respect for themselves, other people. It's just really unfortunate, but that's my opinion on it.
Question number 1.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
All right. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right. Do the lyrics in rap music contribute to incidents of youth violence?
I believe that the lyrics of rap music do to some degree contribute to youth violence. And the reason why I say that is because the music today it talks about violence, and people want to be like those that are in front of us on the big screen, in the rap scenes. And so they try to take on, even though that is a persona that those people are portraying, they try to take on that form. In addition to that, I think that what they're speaking about in rap is all about getting money, having all these women, and it is producing this lifestyle that's unreal. And people are, the youth that are really listening to it and taking it to heart are on that paper chasing road, on that paper chasing path. And doing that, that breeds envy and jealousy and envy breed murder. So yes, I definitely think that to some degree, music and the lyrics of the music produce murder.
It could. How about I say could? It could, because it contributes to if it's being used for inspiration. If you find your inspiration in violent rap music, then you'll be inspired to do violent things. If you don't, then you won't. Then it's just for the entertainment of it. It's not everybody that watches Godfather that goes to carry a gun and shoot after. So it's dependent. Yeah, it's more the inspiration. What inspiration are you getting from that? So if you have a mass amount of people that are getting inspired from violence, then you probably will have mass violence. But if you have a mass amount of people that view it as entertainment, there's a likelihood it won't spill over to violence because it's viewed for entertainment purposes.
Hell yeah, they do.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
How?
Well, if I'm talking about, you know, if you walk up, if I'm in a certain atmosphere and you say something to me out of pocket, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I got something to prove and I'm rapping about it, then I'm gonna be about it. You feel what I'm saying? So, yes, it makes a big difference. We got rappers out here talking about guns, talking about sex. You know, I got hoes, I got bitches, I got cars. So with that aspect in mind, that's a big influence. So I want to do what I see everybody else doing. You feel what I'm saying? So that's the lifestyle I'm striving to live. That's how our youth feel.
Well, you know what? I guess depending on what you take in, you know. 'Cause I remember growing up, listening to some stuff, you know, Cypress Hill, you know, rapping about, you know, smoking blunts, you know. We were like, I was kind of curious what they talking about, and you know, ended up, you know, finding out what it was by the guys, you know, on the corner, you know. But I mean, I don't think that it's some kid hear a certain rap lyric they're gonna go and do, you know, what the rap lyric is saying. You know, I think it's just a kid's state of mind, and they know that it's just entertainment. You know, it's not for real. I don't think so. I mean, like I said, I would probably think it was more of the person that's taking it in. You know, they might perceive it as you know, doing what they're gonna do. I'm gonna do what this guy say. I'm gonna go shoot this cat. You know, but that's still on the person that's thinking that. You know, I'm not saying that the song pushed them to do it. You know, he probably was thinking about violence before the lyric. You know, but no, I don't think it contributes to that.
What I think is, man, and I'm gonna lay it out, man. You know how you see when someone gets killed, you know, so they come on the news and they have these, they're giving, you know, the police commander's there and Mayor Ram is there, and you know, oh yeah, and it's, you know, it's the guns, and you know, and they step so softly around what the real issue is, man. That these little bastards are not being raised, man. They're not being raised, man. Now, that in itself, the reason why they aren't being raised does have, well, I think it's residual, what I call post-traumatic slave syndrome. You know what I mean? There's some residual elements of that still exist, you know, and discrimination. So, but, you know, I know, like, for every crappy, shitty story I've heard, I know a good story I've heard. You know, where people, have overcome, you know, and people have, you know, and a lot of that comes from the individual themselves. And shit, we talk about little kids, you know, and rap music in the ghetto and all of that, but what the hell influenced all these bankers on Wall Street? These people, what the hell influenced all these politicians, George Bush and them, to go into Iraq? Well, these people supposedly came from sound backgrounds. The nuclear family, you know. Ultimately, I believe is up to the individual. You know, I don't think you can create a Idi Amin out of a Mother Teresa, you know, and vice versa. You know what I mean? You just a shitty individual. Well, you're a good individual, you know. So yeah, that's my take on that. Ain't gonna be no outside influence. You can't influence evil to do good. And you can't influence good to do evil. You can't influence me to kill nobody. You can't influence me to start dropping bombs on people. You nothing you can do. You can set $1 trillion billion in front and say, hey man, here this is, man. Hey man, kill that guy right there. You can't influence me. No influence could make me do nothing like that. Nothing could influence me if with the exception of my personal preservation or that of my loved ones. Then you got some problems.
This broadcast contains content that may be considered offensive to sensitive individuals. At times, you may also view footage that is slightly out of focus, underlit, overexposed, and audio that wasn't properly leveled at the time of recording. The executive producers have invested hundreds of hours into the creation of this program, and we challenge you to conceive a concept that addresses the problems that may have been improperly nurtured by the culture of hip-hop. Viewer discretion is advised.
Well, I believe that they do. Rap music is not my genre, my natural genre of music, but from the little bit that I have heard and experienced, I believe that it does. I hear some pretty violent stuff, some pretty agitating terminology. The disrespect of women, terms that don't celebrate the Africanness of my people and my community. And so then based on all of that information, I would have to say, you know, for the most part, yes, there are exceptions, and unfortunately the exceptions don't get the airtime. So who's exposed to them? Who can hear that? I don't know, you know, but I know it's not the entire genre of music, but that which is played and that which the youth culture is exposed to, I believe is pretty violent seeking.
Unpack that one for me.
I believe that it's done on purpose. In order to keep violence in our community. This is just another ploy by the powers in control, the dominant culture, to seek to destroy us. So, you know, racism is restructured every so often, you know, when we begin to change and be a community. Racism is restructured and reintroduced into the community in a different form. And I know that the rap culture has been out, what, 20 years at this point or longer? 40? Really? 40 years? Okay. That just goes to show you that I haven't paid much attention to it. But it started out much more positive, and I had much greater hopes for what it would do. It started out, yes, as music, but also as a means of communication and a very strong means of poetry. And now I think it's just a great deal of it is just absolute garbage, slander, of no value, you know, but the dominant culture promotes that particular type of rap music, and that's what you hear in the community.
I don't think they contribute, but they're not improving the situation. There's no positive counterpart. You know, when that's the only thing that's presented as being cool, is some violent ass shit, then how else are they gonna beat? You know? I've known plenty of people that grew up in jazz backgrounds and things like that, and they got singled out for being suckers and squares. And then they went to the rough side of things, and then they became rough. It's absolutely.
I would say so, because it's like what you eat, you become what you listen to so much you could become, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't say for everybody, but some impressionable minds may take it as being actual, truthful, you know, violence or whatever that they need to be doing just because they're listening to the music. That's what I say. What you think?
And I say yeah, because most likely the person who created it was living through it, and they are given an experience that other people can relate to and giving them a way that they could use. So if they feel like they could use it, then they're gonna probably use it, you know? So yeah, I do feel like it does contribute to it.
I would say yes, they do to an extent, but also not just the lyrics, it's also the visuals that go along with some of these lyrics. I think a lot of the kids today, they believe what they hear these rappers saying. And your perception becomes your reality. It might not be real to everyone else around, but it's real to those that are listening to it and internalizing it and believing it. There was a time where the rap lyrics were pro-black and positive, and you still have some rappers out there. They are in the minority. It is a minority of them, and they're not really promoted. But there was a time where those rappers were at the forefront, and I think we acted differently. You know what I'm saying? Back when we were younger, you know, in the late 80s, early 90s or whatever, where you had your X-Clans, Public Enemies, of course, and you know. Even Ice Cube, after he left NWA, he was somewhat radical about, you know, would have been considered kind of radical about it. But I mean, it was about upliftment, and they might have still said some street stuff, but it was still like, take the message that we trying to give you. We might be talking street, but it's a message to this. Now, I think everything is driven by money. Can you get spins on the radio, airplay? As I spoke about the visuals, is your video in heavy rotation or in demand, and also with so many different places to access this music. You know, before we either had to have a tape to get the real raw version. Otherwise, we saw the toned down version on Rap City or Yo MTV Raps. Like, man, now they got YouTube, they got World Star, you got Vivo, you got so many different mediums to access the music in its rawest form. Not to mention it, you got these artists putting out they own videos of themselves in their studios or what have you, you know, showing their processes. We smoking this weed up in here, boy, we laying it down, you know. It's the lyrics, the whole lifestyle is influencing the kids. The way it's like, that's what, they're not even just selling music no more. They're selling a lifestyle. From the tattoos to the clothing to the hair, or lack of doing hair in some cases. Yeah, it's definitely contributing to somewhat of a societal breakdown.
I just feel like the rap nowadays is, like I said, they shoving one particular type of music down their throat nowadays. Selling dope, shooting motherfuckers. Dad, am I supposed to be cursing?
Man, however you feel. Man.
Nah, slanging dope. You know, shooting guns, sipping lean, popping pills. Every song, it's on every song. So if I keep feeding you that same content on every song, and you don't have a choice whether you hear some positive music. I'm just feeding you straight gangster music. 99% of hip hop right now is gangster music. So if I just keep feeding you that, of course it's gonna lead to violence. I mean, might not be a direct cause, but it's a main ingredient on what's going on out here. It's an ingredient, most definitely.
Okay. So you know what? Earlier, man, we were speaking on. You had mentioned back in the day that we at least had a variety or something. Speak on that, man.
I mean, man, we had NWA. We also had Public Enemy. We had KRS-One. We also had Tribe Called Quest. So we had a balance of negative and positive. So you got a choice to, you know, go which way.
But
you know what I'm saying?
But was the negative sending us off though?
Nah, I mean it was just like I said, it was a choice. The negative, they didn't shove it down your throat. You know what I'm saying? When you have negative and a positive, you can choose which side you want to go to. So you might have brothers in the neighborhood that only listen to NWA. And you have brothers in the hood that only listen to Tribe Called Quest. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like, if we take these days and put it in those days, the youth would only have NWA, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? And they wouldn't have no choice of what they wanted to listen to.
Yeah.
So of course, man, it gets in your head, man. So everybody want to be a gangster now. Everybody want to be the tough guy now. So that's what's going on out here.
You know what I'm saying? Now does it seem as if, man, that these cats are trying to live what they writing about?
Well, they are living it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? They are living it. And that's the scary part about it. You know what I'm saying? These little cats ain't playing, man. They say they want to kill you. They want to kill you. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a game no more, man. These little shorties, they living it, man.
You think the social media play a role in it?
Man, most def. You know, Twitter, Instagram. I was on the rappers' Instagram and I seen a bunch of shorties talking about, man, we gonna kill you, man. You know what I'm saying? Under his pictures, I'm like, man, it's real out here, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy, man. I can't understand me being the type of person. I came from the streets. You know what I'm saying? So I can't see myself, you know, going on a social network and on gangbanging on a social network telling some dude I want to kill him so millions of people can see it.
Yeah.
So these shorties don't care who see it now. You know what I'm saying? They want to kill you, man. They really want to kill you. Yeah. If they put it on social media, what that tell you? They don't care.
Yeah, I believe it probably does in some instances. I think it's like the old question: does rap emulate art or does art emulate life? I mean, does life emulate art or does art emulate life? You know, vice versa. I think a lot of artists or young kids, they emulate the artists that they see, and I believe that the art absolutely is influenced by what's going on in the streets. I think just on a case-by-case basis, yes, in both of those instances.
Is there a difference between us then and them now? You know, because it don't seem like the music back in the 80s was, 90s was sending us off. But then again, maybe it was, and I just wasn't seeing it and whatnot.
Yeah, it was, man. It was, absolutely. But the difference, I think, is, the key difference that I notice is, now it's more of one track. You know, everything is this, whatever it is. Like you can't even make music if it ain't this. If it ain't this, you ain't gonna be heard. And that's just kind of the way it is. When we was growing up, man, I listened to NWA. I'm telling you, man, I heard some of the most derogatory stuff you could hear in music. But we also had Kid and Play. We had Heavy D. We had Salt and Pepper. You know, you had Poor Righteous Teachers. You had Public Enemy. You had Social Consciousness. You had party music. You had Fresh Prince. You know, My Parents Don't Understand. And you had some straight up dark music, you know. So you had a preference. You could listen to it. I listened to it all. I listened to all of it. And I think that, like, as an artist, as a person, I wanted to reflect who I am at all times in my life. I ain't never want to just be all positive. Because I ain't never all positive, you know. And there's somebody looking at you and know you when you like, man, that ain't you. You know what I'm saying? Adam was just saying that, man. It reminded me of Mike Epps. Be like, that ain't that nigga. You know what I'm saying? That ain't who he is. You know what I'm saying? You all positive, like, yeah, man, you know, praise the Lord, you know. But it is moments when that's really who you are. You know, that's how you feel. You could just wake up one morning, man, and just be feeling like, man, I'm thankful to be alive, man. Thank you, you know. And that's genuine. But then later on that day, somebody be said the wrong thing to you. You be like, ooh, wait till I see him, you know. And I think that's who we are as people. I mean, we have all those emotions. I mean, we have emotions for a reason. And I'll just be honest, that's how you are, you know.
Now, do you think the corporate structure may have purposely eliminated all of our other types of music that you were speaking about within the realm of rap?
Man, yeah. You know what? And we had conversations and people talked about follow the money, man. You can see where the money leading to mass incarceration and all these corporate entities investing in privately owned penitentiaries. And man, I honestly hate to think that that's the truth, but yeah, I do believe that's the truth. I honestly believe it's real, man. I believe that the same people that have the power to put you on have a vested interest in a lot of people of our color being placed in penitentiaries and jails for profit.
And you think it might start with the music? That the music play a role in it?
I think it's not just the music. I think the music is part, like I said, it's a part of the art. Yeah, that's the art, but the art emulates life at times. I think it's the environment that we live in. You know, I think that the environment we live in is absolutely influenced by the art. You know, I think they go hand in hand. I think that the two of them, it's almost like a perfect storm. You know, you get that warm wind coming in and the cold wind coming in, and when they get together, it creates a twister. And that's kind of what's happening, man. It's like this. Why it seems like it's spiraling out of control, because that's exactly what it's doing.
The lyrics in hip hop, in music, do influence the way that the youth violence and things of that nature. Music sets the tone. So like if I'm with my girl and I want to have a nice romantic evening, I put on some music that sets the tone. I throw on something romantic to set up a good evening of romance. If I want to go work out and I want to set up some music to where I can get hyped for my workout, you know, I put on music that kind of gets me in that mindset. If I want to go kill somebody, I listen to violence in my music. Or if I want to do something, that is on the other level, then I got to be able to have that mindset to do it. So music sets the tone. I don't think it's the cause of it, but it's the instigator. It sets the tone.
Unfortunately, yeah. I mean, these cats getting this rap music, man, and they trying to live it out, you know. Live it out through their actions, man. I mean, I usually didn't think that, but the more I look at it, man, it is, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They say sag your pants, you sure they're gonna sag your pants. They say rob your mama, you sure they're gonna rob their mama. So, yeah, I have to say, yeah, they do.
I say now it does, for the simple fact it's like Karis once said, watch what you say, because it's like a magnet. You attract certain situations that goes on. Just like a lot of cats when they rap about being hard, toting guns, this and that, you will get tested. I mean, these days, brothers is testing people off of what they're talking about. Where if you come with more lyrical stuff like that, you don't really have to push out there how rough and tough you are. People already know, you know what I'm saying, how you come out. They know about what you're saying, how you are. You don't really have to prove yourself to nobody. So basically cats, you know, cats like Most Def, Common, you know what they own. And you're not saying they soft, but these brothers don't have to prove nothing. They just really rap about what they want to rap about. So yes, I think it does these days push a lot of violence because that's what's selling these days.
But what's the difference between us then and the youth now then? I mean, because the content to me, I think actually might have been worse then.
Yeah, it was, but we had better parenting, man. And then we knew, like, even if we look at certain violent cartoons and certain movies, we didn't go out there reacting to that. We was actually scared of something. These kids today ain't scared of nothing. These kids today don't even believe in God. Right now, I'm still scared of a lot of stuff that they're not even scared of. So it's like, you know, the parenting was way better, man. And plus we snuck on it. We knew it was wrong, but we vibed off of it. But when it was done, it was done. We left it where it was. We weren't trying to react and act everything out that we heard and seen.
Well, I believe they do because the youth of today want to live like the rappers are rapping on the radio and in their songs. All the money, the bling, the girls, the clothes, the cars, all of that falls into place. Just for the simple fact, like I said, because if somebody is saying, man, I got money and the money leads to this and this is how I get it, shorties go out and do that. I mean, that's how people started robbing people for gym shoes, clothes, phones, and things of that nature. So, yeah, I believe that the youth or people can fall victim into, hey, they doing this, so why can't I do it how they do it? So, you know, that's I believe that completely.
What lyrics? I mean, the social influence of music specifically is undeniable on society. And yeah, so yes, the lyrics definitely influence up to a point, just like anything else, but we can't hold the lyrics solely responsible for the social justice. Yes, it does contribute to it, but it's not the main contributing factor.
What would you consider the main contributing factor?
Oh, if as far as our community, the lack of leadership amongst men. We don't have men teaching men how to be men. You know, quite honestly, there's been a whole generation that's been abandoned, and they don't have the social skills to fend for themselves. So this frustration that they have when they go outside of their community, they bring that back, and unfortunately, fight amongst themselves. It's a situation that's not going to change until we uplift the quality of education right now, K through 12, and go back and teach parenting skills to those that were lost because they now themselves are parents, and we're looking at that second lost generation coming up, and it's not pretty, not at all.
Joe. Blackula.
So, as he was running, the officer was trying to get out of the car, and once he got out the car, he pursued my friend, but his weapon was drawn. Now, he didn't see any weapon drawn at him or anything like that, us going for no weapon. His weapon was already drawn when he got out the car. He shot again, and once my friend felt that shot, he turned around and he put his hands in the air, and he started to get down, but the officer still approached with his weapon drawn, and he fired several more shots. No Jackson, no peace.
Instantly, hundreds gathered, angered and saddened by what they call a complete overreaction by the officer. Now a family is demanding answers.
If there's no justice, there won't be peace. We'll let the struggle go on. Let the struggle go. Watch us let the struggle go. If there's no justice, there won't be peace. We'll let the struggle go on. Let the struggle go. Watch us make the struggle go.
Praying for the family of Mike Brown, young martyr. Haiti laid his life down.
Shot-town where we see it every day, interceding for the people that they see another way. Pray as we transgress through this summer madness. I done seen it all through these rose-colored glasses. Paradox to this paradise. This what a hard knock life drops to Fahrenheit. Cause last night he lost his life for a pair of Nikes, but the skyline looked nice from the terrace lights. Propaganda push the horns and the pitchfork. We all fall short trying to show the shorties it's more. So we ignore the piss poor. Record contracts or the league is what we wish for. I just want the youngins to grow up. Man, I'm just waiting for God to show up.
No justice, there won't be peace. We'll let the struggle go on. Let the struggle go. Watch us let the struggle go. If there's no justice, there won't be peace. We'll let the struggle go on. Let the struggle go. Watch us make the struggle go.
Where did the love go? Everybody cutthroat. Clouds of the loud blow mixed with the gun smoke. Arabs at the corner store, weed from the Chinese. Horrors in the corridor, fiend for the finer things. Die for high price sneakers and designer jeans. While mothers scream wild while the choir sings. Violently we dying in the street. Why these wannabe tyrants be lying over beats? Numb to the relevance, dumb to the evidence. Thy kingdom come, but it's guns in the residence. Thugs in the drugs, straight bullets hit the innocent. Crooked from the bass to the pulpit is imminent. Debt to society is way more than 10%. Behind bars, time's hard, but we impotent. Ain't no justice, it's just us. No peace, looking for love, but it's just lust.
No justice, there won't be peace.
Trust.
We'll let the struggle go on. Let the struggle go. Watch us let the struggle go. If there's no justice, there won't be peace. We'll let the struggle go on. Let the struggle go. Watch us make the struggle go.
You took my son away from me. You know how hard it was for me to get him to stay in school and graduate? You know how many black men graduate? Not many. Because you bring them down to this type of level where they feel like I don't got nothing to live for anyway.
Joe.
Blackula.